Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and today's video is Lego Transformers Lockdown. So, Lockdown here is far from his traditional appearance. As most people that don't watch the shitty live action films that actually care about the original characters, well, let me say that, more the people that give a shit about animated. We've got our own little part of the community. Some people just kind of ignore it. Mostly the people that rave over how great G1 is. But anyway, all that aside, this isn't accurate to his usual muscle car mode, or for any Philistines in the audience, the boring grey Lamborghini mode that looks like nothing, and it's just like every other live action character that turns into a sports car, or it's just a grey car that no one's even fucking heard of, that doesn't even make sense as a disguise, because who the fuck just casually drives a concept fucking car, like a concept sports car? It makes no sense. And meanwhile, this is the same franchise that couldn't have Mirage be an F1 car because, well, you've got to have a disguise. Anyway, ignoring that, I do actually really like Mirage's new alt mode, despite the fact he's like ripping off Jazz, and I did also just think it was Jazz. We're going to get into a much loved character, and whether I like it or not, unfortunately, mostly well known for the live action film. But I was introduced to him in animated, and I haven't watched Age of Extinction. I'm not going to, unless someone wants to give me a generous donation of a couple grand into my PayPal. Then I might consider watching that movie. But anyway, this is a very different thing. To keep him his Voyager size that he should be, not a tiny ass deluxe sports car. To keep him as a larger robot, to make him more menacing and noticeable and better detailed, I ended up at my scale having to change the alt mode. I did have a couple experiments with trying to do Lockdown with the classic Transformers animated toy transformation. And I do own that toy, and I might just bring it in for a size comparison. This didn't really work at my scale because of how small a muscle car has to be to work. It couldn't. Also, just saying, no one is watching this that gives a shit. Anyone who happens to be from fucking Michael Bay's production company or anything, if you want to do this guy for live action again, go with like an actual muscle car. Like a Dodge Charger. A 1960s Dodge Charger is like the perfect thing to go with. Like a 69 Dodge Charger, put some spikes on it, some green highlights, have the little engine block coming out the front. It would be the perfect alt mode for him. And it'd be a realistic alt mode that you could probably see in the streets, because it's a very popular car that unfortunately no one has that actually wants it. Anyway, Lockdown here for me is a van, which I kind of thought about the character a bit. So he is this sort of fast, souped up looking dude. So I went with this souped up transit van. I also thought about it's a bounty hunter. And a bounty hunter probably isn't going to use a small car that they can't really fit any bounties in. So I liked the idea of a van. It also gives good adaptation later on for his beast mode if I want to add that. Which will have to be a separate figure. There's no way I'm triple changing this into a fucking dragon. But here he is in his little souped up van mode. He's got these fat ass exhausts hanging out the back. He's got these full extended tail lights, chain hanging on the back, which can be thrown off as road spikes. Got an air intake for whoever's in the back. This big old, you can see this is a engine intake or a spare tire. Unfortunately, the grill is broken up by transformation. These two lights here, these nice chromed rims. The back ones are not chromed. And the iconic red glass, which I always like, and these armored panels as well, because Bounty Hunter. He's also got the occasional green highlights, which really pop in robot mode. But when you get to the roof here, this is something that Rise of the Beast did for Scourge that I really liked, which was using the badges of his victims. So he has a few badges from bounties that he's collected as sort of trophies that he can also use to, I guess, just fuck around with scanners. Because, of course, you always see in quite a few bits of Transformers media the Autobots and Decepticons scanning for the badges of their rivals and shit. So if this dude's plastered with Autobot and Decepticon logos, it's gonna fuck up the scanners, because they're gonna be like, well, we've got Decepticon here, but Autobot right there. These also get into a really nice position in robot mode. But this chain, also my idea was this could kind of be like a chain of road spikes, so he can drop that off while being chased. This does have some really nice weapon integration as well, ignoring that one, because that is a bit of weapon integration. The only weapon that doesn't integrate is his battle rifle, which is a whole modular system where you can have sniper, a longer assault rifle, a cut down assault rifle. The main thing is this sniper rifle though, which is how I'm going to display him. The only other weapon that doesn't attach is his chainsaw hand as an optional hand, which is always a fun thing to have. Anyway, keeping that chain off to a side. The built-in ones we are going to take out now. So start with the exhausts here on either side. We're going to pop off, and those are optional guns that can be chucked on him anywhere, as well as an optional tripod for the sniper. Then going to flip him over and take off the vent from the top here. This is part of his EMP. Then the other part of his EMP is in the front here. I'm going to do the EMP now. So I'm going to pop this piece off and flip it around like that. And then this block goes on, so you end up with something like that. Put that off to a side. So let's get into transformation for this guy, because this is already a long as fuck video. So I'm going to start by lifting up the front of the truck, of the, not truck, the van, and you can see here, this is going to become the legs, this is part of the lower torso, and the arms are tucked in the back here, and this is the chest. So we're then going to flip these side panels down, and then grabbing this from the bottom, flip that completely out. I'm going to come to this section, and we're going to leave it up. Actually, we'll do the legs first. I'm just going to take the arms and just bring them up. So we've got something looking like that right now. An exploded van. We're then going to split the legs at this joint. And we're going to rotate it around. So I'm going to bring these up here so you can see this. I'm going to rotate this round and fold it flat like that. We're then going to rotate that around, and we'll do the same on the other side. So it will look like that when you flip it around to the back. From the front, it looks like this. See the same this side. That is breaking off. Then gonna splay out. I'm going to rotate. We're going to keep breaking. We're going to rotate these roof panels out and flip them down to the, flip them forward. Then going to rotate and bend simultaneously the lower torso, and then just fucking, it's going to keep breaking. Hang on, I'm going to take it off camera while I deal with these fucking side skirts, because they're annoying the shit out of me. And that gives them a sort of waistcoat slash trench coat look, which has these separated panels. His foot is then going to fall off. I'm then going to flip these and rotate them to form the feet. And then these spurs are going to form the heels. And then his leg is going to break. I'm going to stand him like that. You see those are the legs done. Turn our attention up here. I'm going to just split the van entirely down the top here. I'm going to just break it off. I'm going to rotate these like that. These shit. Okay, notice how the tail light on that side is straightened out. This one's curved. I'm gonna curve those, and then I'm gonna bring this up close. This is going to rotate in, and then it's gonna close just like that. You can then fold that down, rotate the arm at the top, rotate the arm at the forearm, and you got one arm done. I'm gonna bring it off camera because it's the exact same thing the other side. You just mirror it. And it's a really frustrating thing to do, and just this figure in general is kind of frustrating to deal with at times. It breaks super easy. Except this side, we're gonna rotate this hook around as well just to get it placed. And then finally, just rotate the head. And that is locked down. His arms down, making him look a little less goofy in his robot mode. Now there are some accessories to chuck on him as well. Like on the hook hand arm, I just realized he's not even on camera. The hook hand arm here, we have this 2-stud port, which is there to attach the EMP, which you can have in this outwards configuration like that, or you can have a more discreet sort of undeployed look. Just sort of a standard way to have him displayed. Situating this guy is so annoying. You can do stuff like swap his hook out for the chainsaw. You can kind of stud these guns on anywhere where there is studs. They can literally just kind of go like underarms, wherever. But his main weapon is this big old battle rifle. Before I get into that, I'm just going to showcase an issue of articulation, which is he doesn't have knees. Because of the way he transforms, if I just pop this side skirt off, the knee bend is this way. So despite there being a hinge there, it can only bend forwards. You can flip the legs around, but then you just end up with this really ugly side on the outside. So I chose to just have it flip around and just sacrifice the articulation for aesthetics, because, well, none of my figures really have great articulation. I mean, some of them are immaculate and some of them are just garbage. Like, some figures have like maximum knees and shit and elbows, and then some of them will have like waist swivels, and some of them have like barely anything. Some of them just barely have their arms go fucking back and forward. Some of them don't even have elbow swivels. This guy does because it's ball jointed. Just gonna quickly take him off camera to get this rifle in his hands. But if you want to copy this, this is just like a really nice sort of rifle build for mechs. You just grab him. And just popping part of his EMP off. Oh, his entire heel just broke. Yeah, his legs really are like one of the main extremely fragile spots. This video is dragged on way fucking long. I'm sorry about that. It is because of like fragile, mostly because of how easily this guy breaks, but it's like the main reason this video is dragged on. But get him situated, get him to not break. There he is with his rifle. It's pretty cool. It's instead of this stupid gun head thing that he for some reason did, I just decided just give him an actual rifle because that's normal. I get that they're fucking alien transformers and all that shit. They don't need to use conventional guns, but it looks cooler when the big robots use human-styled guns, where they hold them and shoot at each other instead of just fucking arms that turn into guns. And my only size comparison, because this has gone on way too fucking long, here he is next to V2 Soundwave. He's a little bit shorter. He's kind of just standard Voyager height. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this look at Lockdown Her. Next video is going to just be Scourge, because I'm just going to record it immediately after this. He's sat there waiting. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.